Hello and welcome to Dee Dee Blooms. This video is featuring some delightful little Oncidium orchids. They're called Oncidium Twinkles, and they are miniature versions of Oncidium plants which can grow very, very large. And I have several in bloom right now at varying stages of being in bloom. And I thought this was the perfect time to feature them, to at least get an idea of also some of the colors you can get with these little twinkles. And there's a number of varying hybrids. There seems to be a few more that I don't even know about out there, but I think most of the colors are like a whitish, real pale, really pale pink. In some light, this looks pale pink, and then there's like the yellows, and then like the rose color, darker pinks. That's what I've seen out on the market. I haven't seen anything close to purple or bluish. So yeah, that's all I know. If you guys know of different colors, I'd love to please put down in the comments if you have ones that are different than these colors. But as you can see, they're very compact growing. My largest one here is the one most floriferous. It's the one I've had the longest. It's my Oncidium Twinkle Margarite. And I recently repotted it into self-watering, and it's been liking it quite a bit. And it's given me all of these gorgeous blooms. And some of the flowers, like this is a spent branch already. I've got, this one is starting to go over. It got so heavy that it bent at the base down there, as you can see. And so I was trying to use this stake to hold on to it. I just kind of propped it up, but it fell down again. And there goes another little flowers, so they can be a little messy when they're done, but they are beautiful, contrasting in colors. The egg yolk yellow, real golden yellow, on the lip, which has these really fun curvatures. Actually, I'm not sure if that's the lip. It's hard, I'm not sure. I am not an expert on plant pieces and parts of flowers. I just know there's petal sepals and there's a lip somewhere in all of this. So cute. And when I usually have fans in my grow rooms, and they just kind of waft around, and they're very sweetly scented. So I really enjoy their fragrance. It's sweet, lightly sweet, not too heavy, maybe a little syrupy in it, if you know what I mean. If you smell like syrup that you put on your pancakes or French toast or something, it's got a little heaviness like that, but not a lot. I have some orchids that it's super heavy, syrupy scented. So right now, as I'm showing you this, I'm really enjoying the fragrance, and the more flowers you have, the more fragrance you get. And you just get these little pseudobulbs and these little growths, and you have to be careful not to get too much water in between. They can be prone to rot, from what I understand, if you shower water way down in these deep crevices and not have good airflow. You probably could get away with it if you have really good airflow, but if you don't, it's a risk. I have really good airflow and I don't risk it. I always just, when I refresh the reservoir for the self-watering, I just water around the edges here. I try not to go too close to the plant. So the next one, which is just starting its bloom, this is my Oncidium Twinkle Oro. And I've had this one, I got this one shortly after the Margeurite here. So this is the one I've had the second longest, and you can see all the branches and buds. It's going to be a beautiful show. And the deep yellow and really orangey textured lip in there. Maybe this little part, the yellow part is the lip, and inside is some other special piece of the flower. So pretty. And all similarly scented to me. They all kind of smell the same. You can see all these buds. And when this one is done blooming, I'm also planning on putting it into self-watering. Although I think I have these burnt edges because I put too much slow release fertilizer in here. So be careful with self-watering and slow release fertilizer. I tend to be heavy-handed to a detriment, and so I think that's why some of my leaf tips are brown, where this hasn't been in self-watering. And look at all the beautiful leaves. And pretty much the same for the last one I have here, which is the Twinkle Pink Profusion. This is my youngest one in my collection. I've had it for over a couple of years. This one I'm going on about 3.5, close to 3, and then about 2.5, I want to say. Not too far behind each other. I think I got them all like several months around each other, with 4 months. This one has already lost almost all the flowers on its first spike. It's got one flower left on there, and then it's got this next spike. I thought I was gonna kill this one several times. I ended up with rot, and it mustered back each time. So this is the second time it's bloomed for me. Last year wasn't much to speak about. It was just a few flowers. So it was rallying back, and through this last growing season, it really put out a lot of root growth and some new healthy growths that it's been able to now bloom from. So I also plan, when this is done, to repot into self-watering. And they're just so pretty. They're so dainty and pretty. But again, when they start losing their flowers, it can be a bit messy. It's almost like snowfall. So, but yeah, I since I'm moving to self-watering with them, before that, they really love their moisture. I've been moving all my Oncidium types into self-watering because with my large collection, it's hard to keep up with watering. I've managed to keep these alive. This was also not in self-watering until, gosh, when did I do that? October last year. So it's been in self-watering only 2.5 months. And still blooming for me, though. I didn't ruin the bloom season, which I'm really happy about. But yeah, I really got these guys shriveled up. I was not keeping up with water very well. And then, like I said, this one I ended up with rot. I must have splashed some water into those tight crevices in there. No bueno. And but I managed to keep them. I love them. They're great for a lot of people's collections indoors. If you don't have space for the really large Oncidiums, or the Oncidiums that can get really large, let's just put it that way. I have a good amount of Oncidiums, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with my space in my back grow room, because some of them are getting really large, and I'm trying to think ahead several years from now. All my plants that are gonna keep going for me, hopefully every one of them will, but reality says I'll lose some, but the majority, I believe, will continue on, and they're gonna get larger and larger. So keep that in mind. So if you are pressed for space, you don't have much space, but you would love to enjoy some Oncidium types, these guys are great. Just wonderful. Fairly easy, like I said, as long as you don't splash water in their crevices, and you keep them well watered, because they will shrivel fast on you. So I'm really encouraging self-watering, but then again, caution on how much, if you put any slow release fertilizer in your self-watering, because you run the risk. Usually self-watering and slow release fertilizer does not go well, because it's like almost like a constant dose, because the media is kept moist all the time. Be careful. So learning lessons with these about that. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, let me know about these guys. So I, you know, summertime, water more, fertilize more during the growing season. As winters come, I've pulled back on watering a little bit, but again, transitioning self-watering. I'm always keeping some water in the reservoir pot for my Oncidiums as best I can. Sometimes they go bone dry because I can't keep up. I've been getting sick off and on. It really stinks. It really throws me off all of my stuff, home work when I get sick, but life happens. Anyway, if you have any questions, how I'm growing, these are growing under, sorry, I keep acting like I'm gonna end this video and then I don't. I'm growing under bright Barina lights in my back grow room. It's pretty tropical back in there. It can get up to in the lower 80s, down to about mid 60s. We're in Southern California. We really don't have the heat going very much at all. So it stays within that 20-degree range, lower 60s into lower 80s, pretty much all year. So if these can grow outside, I'm not familiar with that, but they grow really well for me indoors in my back grow room under very bright grow lights. And I have a fan blowing back in there for good airflow. Actually, I have 2 fans blowing back there. And yeah, so any questions, put them in the comments. If you like these features, please give a thumbs up. I haven't posted anything for a few weeks. Just been super busy with life and getting sick because of life. That sounds so bad. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and maybe we'll see you in the next video. Bye.